Alright, general concepts. The more time you can spend getting into good starting position on both hands, it's actually going to be a time saver, even though it seems like it's a pain in the ass, and it is. So, maybe for the sake of just like this particular playing session, do something that's not like I'm chilling out playing, something that's sitting upright, and then you can switch to all those other permutations that are totally normal as well. Cool, so yeah, right hand wise, like we talked about, thumb's going to be parallel to the bass string, and doing that as opposed to this is going to be what sets the whole thing off, which brings our fingers into this curled position where we can strike them without big movements. And the biggest symptom of this is, whoops, I ended up on the 4th string. So that's like the thing where you're going to get like shock the monkey in your head if you do that. Like if you end up on strings 4, 3, and 2, just feel bad about yourself. Not really. Alright, but so in the context of that moment on your guitar. Awesome. So yeah, so there's us. And before, just maybe pause the video. Be sure you're gripping your E like this. It doesn't matter right now, but it'll matter in the long run. And just get used to just going like each one of my fingers. If your pinky needs to be here, it's cool. So, but that said, maybe go or something like that. Just each finger one time, then swap. So just do that, like kind of go, okay, maybe I don't want my pinky here because I have to go swap. Or you can be like, this swap, devise something for yourself where there's no left hand part, just for getting used to interacting with this position before we're trying to do anything in particular. Cool. Our E thing, let's see, I can do quite a bit in this song. Left hand overview of first bit is you're going to go from E to E7, E to E7. So it's going to go. So that was just 1 and 2, 3 and 4. First thing I did was hinge, so to speak. And that was. So there's our first bit. Again, the concept rhythm doesn't exist. Get just sick at this, including going through it in out of rhythm. And I mean the first measure before you even approach the second measure. It's going to be really tempting to do the whole section. Stop learning that. Now we're going to, rather than starting there, start at the beginning of the second measure. And we're going to be going pinky up onto the first string, left hand wise. So that's 3 fingers at once. And it's going to be tempting to straighten out your first finger. Don't. You could literally pin it on the string, though that's not really how it'll go in the long run. Because here we're going, we're going these 3, not our first finger, and this. And then, so this will sound a little bit like a weird endpoint, and we're going to resolve that, obviously. So. We haven't added any. I'm just going to write a down arrow here, indicating, like, if you remember, that maybe after the fact, you could put in a swap there instead of playing just the bass note. But for now, we're just leaving it like that. So there's your E thing. It goes. Sure that everything's audible. Listen for your bass line. Something I referred to earlier in the lesson before we started recording was how, in order to get the bass note to cut through that, we really actually have to hit the bass note with more attack. At first, that's going to seem impossible. Like, it either goes you have to hit everything harder or one of the, but either way, just listen to your bass line, make sure it's audible, make sure it's in there, and if you can, try to correct it. So, I want you to just think at this before you even try. And the approach you're going to take to it is boring, go through it in little bits, then this is an important thing, go through one single time, pause, reassess. What did I do wrong? One single time, pause. When that gets easy, do it twice. When that gets easy, only then loop it. And then get to the point where you loop it. Again, something that I cannot believe how few people say to their students or in teaching materials. It's just like, that's the optimal order for I am going to memorize this, rather than I do it once and immediately start to loop it, because then we're prematurely moving from our memorization into playing headspace. So then this will go for rhythms and stuff too. I can do it once well, and then I can do it twice well, and looping it'll be like a 4th melody. So just get really good at this, and at like exactly 5 minutes or so in your video, we switch to recording stuff. And similar themes, you know, if thumb's going to move to the 5th string, we're using this A, the one that was more intuitive for you in this song, because we're going back to E. It won't always go like that. There'll be plenty of situations where you can use either, and this one makes sense for the more intuitive for each one. So we're going to go, and there's the pitch where we're hitting the 2 danger strings. First bit of A7, super easy, and then we're going to go. For the first time, squeeze on beat 2. We're going 1, 2, and 3, and so maybe don't even get up to beat 4. Just work on going. Pause, and then when you're good at that. And the only thing we want to maintain is the feel of. So on your strum, make sure not to hit the 5th string as well. So, 2 approaches. One is, so this part of your hand. One approach is thumb swat, but this one's the more versatile. Because it keeps us in the ballpark and keeps our thumb available. So it might seem intuitive to go thumb, and it's not like we'll never do that, but right here we want hand. Cool, so there's already a sample. Excuse me. Back to our E thing. Cool. And that brings us back, and there you go. There's like, if you get to that point in the song, I want you to think of this as big subsection 1. Just, you know, E twice A, back to E. Because all we have is the B to add, and you've actually learned the rest of the song already. So get really, really sick about it here before you move on. When we get to our D7, we decided to just sit on B so that you can get into some more weird progressive concepts. So here's us. We've got, and that was a swat. So pick, and then on the way back up, pick. So that's. So we're getting our high bass note with that beat, so you can do the rear. Anyway, so that was 1 and 2 and this 0 up here is 2. So let's kick into that and don't loop it. Second half. So now we're going pick, and the second half right here. All that together sounds like. Excuse me. Just write this for you a bit. So our B is going to be really chunky. Like that, but. Like that just for a second. Back to more normal stuff on our A. Straight back. And if on this last high note your finger departs on the way back to E, that's fine. Like. As long as you don't literally fix the string. This is kind of how guitar playing is, so you might have a little bit of an overtone there ringing out, which is fine. So. Like that. And then we're just back to our E thing. Cool, so there we are. I'll take one pass of the whole thing just mostly for funsies. I'm gonna go slow. At the end, if you want to go or something, you can. But there we go. There's the whole thing. And that is a a video for you to practice too.